Okay, thoughts on who to bring in for people who have used their wildcard. So if I was going to use my wildcard, and this may help some people, and it will give you an insight into the players I'm really looking at, I guess, as well. So if I was actually going to make a wildcard, keeper-wise, maybe Edison, but I'm pretty confident in keeping Mendy. I'm not sure what keeper I'd actually go for. You could take a risk with Arsenal now they've got easier fixtures. And then you get a 5 million option there. And then you could always put Hammer in for 4 million, and that's 9 million spent on your goalkeepers. But I'm sure goalkeepers isn't actually where people are interested anyway. If I was going wildcard, I would probably bring in, I cannot say that name, but thank you so much for joining the flock. I'll be looking at Alonso and Mendy. I think those are really good options. Depending on what Robertson does tonight, he would also be in consideration. If I was willing to spend 6 million on 3 defenders, and the 6.6 million, sorry, then all 3 of them would go in. But to be honest, Mendy and Robertson offer value for money, I feel, compared to Alonso. I mean, Mendy has gone up 0.2 now, but he's still 0.4 cheaper than Alonso, and is only 1 point behind him as far as his returns. So Mendy definitely offers that value that I think can counterbalance Alonso. I would probably go Wan-Bissaka still and Bennett, just because the funds aren't that high yet. Bennett being the Wolves defender instead of Peltier. Would I keep Shaw? It's very unlikely. Don't know who I'd bring in for him. Pereira's a possibility because he can get assists. You could, of course, look at the likes of Van Aanholt. Schlupp, of course, 4.5 out of position. If he continues to play out of position, that could be a good shout, Schlupp, as one of your cheap defenders. Then you've got midfield. I'd keep Salah. I'd definitely keep Salah. Bernardo Silva, after the game against Huddersfield, I'm not so sure about anymore. If he'd played centre, I think he would still be an option. Sanchez is definitely out. Townsend is probably definitely out. Stevens could keep his place just as a cheap placeholder. But in midfield, I'd definitely be wanting Richarlison in. Fraser is a possibility for a cheap option. Pedro gives you cheap Chelsea coverage. Depends if you're looking at Hazard, but I don't think we should consider Hazard until he's got a full 90 minutes on his belt. Mane, is it a bit late to double up on Liverpool? As I think they get tougher fixtures from game week 5 onwards. Mkhitaryan looked very good. Arsenal have good fixtures, so maybe Mkhitaryan and Richarlison coming in for Bernardo Silva and Townsend. If I was going for a premium priced midfielder, then Mane would come in for Sanchez, potentially even with the tough fixtures. You could look at Dele Alli, but I'm not sure what his fixtures actually look like off the top of my head. You could probably wait a bit for that. This period here would be an okay period to bring him in though. And then up front, I'd go Aguero, and then I'd pick 2 cheap strikers. So Wilson looks very good at the moment, but it'd be interesting for me to compare their underlying stats. Wilson and Deeney both on 14. Arnautovic I'm waiting to bring in. Mitrovic had good underlying stats. Ings has looked promising and is the cheapest. But it'd be very interesting to see, like, head to head, what those cheaper strikers actually look like. So that is how the kind of players I would consider if I was playing a wild card. As we had Walid and Shafiq both joining the flock. Thank you so much for joining the flock. 334 people watching. So thank you so much for everyone joining in on the stream.